Are you prepared for this mission?
I am. But how about you?
Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Instruction 3 is the third chapter in Netflix's massively popular action series, once again following Tyler Rake. The battle scoured mercenary played by Chris Hemsworth, directed by Sam Hargrave, a former stuntman who has redefined the modern action genre with his bold camera work and breathtaking stunt. This film pushes the franchise to its most ambitious level yet. It is both a brutal action spectacle and a surprisingly emotional genre, commenting Tyler Rake as one of the most iconic action heroes of the streaming era. The film opens quietly with Tyler living in isolation after the brutal event of Instruction 2. His body is broken, his mind is haunted, and for the first time he tries to step away from his life of violence. But his peace is short-lived. An old ally brings him a mission that cuts straight to his soul. The teenage son of the fallen soldier, one who once saved Taylor's life. He been kidnapped by a powerful cartel in Myanmar. Taylor feels obligated to run that debt, and more importantly, his seen is the mission a chance for redemption after years of guilt and failure as a father. General Dan Shun emerges as the central antagonist of the film, a warlord who blends the ruthlessness of a cartel leader with the precision of a military commander. He controlled drug routes, human trafficking, and private armies across Southeast Asia. Unlike past enemies, Shun's conflict with Taylor is deeply emotional. He despises mercenaries and views Taylor as the unlimited symbol of foreign interference. Their collection source feels inevitable as through the entire trilogy has been building toward his shadow. The first act of film dives straight into the suffocating jungle of Myanmar. Taylor and Nick Khan played with quick straight with goals shifting Farhani lead a small strike team into Sartell territory. The film wasted no time showcasing its signature the extended to take action sequence. This one being with Taylor smacking through dense jungle, shift into a chaotic river ambush involving speedboats and gunfire, and explodes into a Varus house site where the walls literally collapse around him. The camera work is seamless, visceral, and raw, making the audience feel as if they are running and fighting alongside Taylor. What elevates Extraction 3 beyond typical action film is its emotional core. Trailer interaction with the kidnapped by Artanger and vulnerable, showing a softer side beneath his violent exterior. The boy's failure and courage remind Taylor of his own son, who died year ago, leaving him burdened with regret. This bond gives the mission weight. It's not just about survival, but about saving a life to make peace with his own past. Every time Trailer protects the boy from bullets of rickshaws with during moment of chaos, the story deepens, reminding us that behind the mercenary is a grieving father. The second act broadens the scope, moving from the jungle into bustling cities. Taylor and his team chase leads through Bangkok, giving the film new visual energy with neon it street, crowded marketplace, and rooftops alive with danger. One of the standout sequences is a high-octane motorcycle chase that spills into a moving train, where Taylor fight hand to hand against cartel enforcers while dodging incoming helicopter. The sequences is both technically brilliant and emotionally exciting, provide Hargrave ability to blend non-stop action with grounded tension. As the mission unfolds, Taylor discovers that the boy is not just a hostage, he is Bat General's son, orchestrated the kidnapping to lure Taylor into territory. Their revelation rises to stake, turning the mission into a trap. It also references the conflict. Taylor is not just rescuing an innocent but comforting a warlord who seen him as an enemy to be disturbed. The tension built steadily toward a final confrontation that feels both epic and personal. The climax takes place inside an unfinished skyscraper in Bangkok. This location became a veritable war zone, filled with exposed beams, half-built floors, and crumbling structure. Explosive rip through the building as Trailer and Nick lead a desperate assault against Shun forces. The sequences is chaotic, brutal, and terrifying, with the skyscraper itself becoming a weapon. When Taylor finally faces Sean, their duel is stripped on glamour. It is raw, primal, and issuing a fight between two men defined by violence and unwilling to back down. Trailer ultimately defeats Sean by collapsing and skyscraper, buying the world undertone of rubble. But victory comes at a staggering cost. Trailer is left gravely wounded, his body broken beyond repair. In a hauntingly quiet moment, he entrusts the boy safely to Nick, giving him a chance as the life Taylor of own never had. Whether Taylor's services his injuries is left deliberately ambiguous, with the final image showing him staggering away into the chaos. It is both an ending and a possible new beginning, leaving audience to wonder if his story is truly over. Chris Hemsworth delivers a performance that balances ferocity with vulnerability. He physically presents dominate the action sequence, but it is emotional depth that make Taylor completing Golsfi Farahani shine is Nick Khan, stepping further into the spotlight and proving himself ever bit a capable and resilient as Taylor. The sporting cat adds texture and authenticity, especially the Southeast Asia operative would help ground the story in its culture setting. From a production standpoint, Section 3 continues to push the boundaries of practical stunt work. Hardrade, drawing from his stunt background on Marvel film, emphasizes realism and immersion. Many of these sequences were shot on location to South Asia, giving the film authenticity. Hemsworth performed many of his own stunts, adding a layer of danger and intensity that CGI simply cannot replicate. The use of extended or one take sequences has become a signature of the franchise, and here is reaches new height.
The third installment of the Extraction series continues the high-octane action legacy that audiences have come to expect from the franchise. Following the massive success of Extraction and its intense sequel Extraction 2, the story moves forward with even bigger stakes, deeper emotional conflicts, and more complex missions. The film centers, once again, on the battle-hardened mercenary Tyler Rake, portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, whose dangerous line of work constantly puts him in life-threatening situations. This new chapter promises to expand the world of the franchise, introducing fresh challenges while continuing the story that fans have followed since the beginning. At its core, the movie explores the relentless life of a professional extraction specialist. Tyler Rake is not just a soldier or a mercenary. He is someone who operates in the shadows, taking on missions that governments and organizations cannot officially handle. His job is to rescue individuals trapped in dangerous environments, often in the middle of violent conflicts or criminal territories. The introduction of the film establishes the intense atmosphere surrounding this profession, where every mission can quickly spiral into chaos and survival depends on skill, instinct, and sheer determination. The narrative begins by reflecting on Tyler Rake's journey so far. Having survived seemingly impossible situations in his past missions, he carries both physical and emotional scars. These experiences shape the tone of the story, reminding viewers that the character is far more than an action hero. He is a man haunted by loss, driven by purpose, and constantly struggling to find meaning in a life filled with violence. The film's opening atmosphere builds anticipation by hinting that the challenges ahead will test him in ways he has never faced before. Another important aspect introduced early in the story is the expanding network of characters surrounding Tyler. The mysterious figure, played by Idris Elba, plays a significant role in shaping the new mission. His character represents a powerful and influential force operating behind the scenes, someone who understands the global scale of the conflicts Tyler is drawn into. The dynamic between these characters adds intrigue and complexity to the narrative, suggesting that alliances, secrets, and hidden agendas will play a major role in the events that unfold. The introduction also highlights the global nature of the story. The Extraction series has always been known for its international settings, and this new chapter continues that tradition. From crowded urban centers to remote and hostile landscapes, the world of the film is vast and unpredictable. These locations are not just backgrounds for action scenes. They play a crucial role in shaping the challenges faced by the characters. Every environment presents unique obstacles that demand quick thinking and adaptability. A major theme that emerges early in the film is the cost of living a life built around violence and danger. Tyler Rake's profession forces him into situations where trust is rare and betrayal is common. The introduction subtly explores how this constant pressure affects his mindset. Even when he succeeds in completing a mission, the emotional toll remains. This layer of psychological depth adds weight to the story, making the action sequences feel more meaningful rather than simply spectacular. The film's opening moments also set the stage for the kind of action audiences expect from the franchise. The Extraction series has built a reputation for intense fight scenes, long single-shot sequences, and realistic combat choreography. The introduction hints that the third film will raise the bar even higher, delivering sequences that combine precision, speed, and raw physical intensity. These elements are carefully designed to keep viewers on the edge of their seats from the very beginning. At the same time, the story does not rely solely on action to capture attention. The introduction gradually reveals the emotional motivations driving the characters. Tyler Rake's past continues to influence his decisions, and his sense of responsibility toward the people he protects becomes increasingly clear. This emotional grounding ensures that the audience remains invested, not only in the outcome of the missions, but also in the personal journey of the protagonist. Another intriguing aspect introduced early in the narrative is the sense that the world around Tyler Rake is evolving. The threats he faces are no longer limited to individual criminals or isolated gangs. Instead, larger and more organized forces appear to be operating behind the scenes. These powerful adversaries bring new levels of danger and complexity, suggesting that the conflict will extend far beyond a single rescue mission. This expanding scale raises the stakes and adds a sense of urgency to the story. Ultimately, the introduction to the third Extraction film serves as the gateway to a story filled with tension, danger, and emotional depth. It reminds viewers why the franchise has become one of the most popular modern action series while preparing them for a new chapter that promises to be even more intense. By combining thrilling action, complex characters, and a global narrative, the film opens with a powerful sense of momentum. setting the stage for an unforgettable journey through a world where survival is never guaranteed. The story of Extraction 3 continues the intense journey of Tyler Rake, the fearless Black Ops mercenary played by Chris Hemsworth. After surviving multiple deadly missions in the previous films, Tyler attempts to step away from the constant cycle of violence and danger. However, his life never truly allows him to escape the world of covert operations. The film begins by showing Tyler trying to recover both physically and emotionally from the brutal experiences he has faced in the past. Despite his efforts to find peace, circumstances soon force him back into the field for another mission that will test him more than ever before. The narrative quickly introduces a new high-stakes mission that becomes the central focus of the movie. A powerful international crime organization has captured individuals whose survival could influence global political stability. Governments are unable to intervene openly due to the sensitive nature of the situation, so they rely on someone who operates outside official systems. This is where Tyler Rake becomes the only viable option. His reputation as one of the most skilled extraction specialists makes him the perfect candidate for a mission that most people would consider impossible. As Tyler is drawn back into action, he is approached by the mysterious character portrayed by Idris Elba. This character acts as the bridge between powerful organizations and Tyler's underground operations. He presents Tyler with a mission that is far more complex than a typical rescue operation. The objective is not only to extract hostages, but also to navigate through a network of criminals, corrupt officials, and hidden alliances that complicate every step of the operation. From the beginning, Tyler realizes that the mission may involve risks far beyond what he has faced before. The story expands as Tyler assembles a small team of trusted allies who have worked with him in previous operations. These individuals bring different skills, from tactical planning to advanced technology and intelligence gathering. Together, they begin preparing for the dangerous mission, analyzing enemy territory, escape routes, and possible threats. The planning stage reveals just how heavily guarded the target location is, making it clear that the team will have to rely on creativity, precision, and courage to succeed. As the mission begins, the film takes the audience through a series of intense and fast-paced events. Tyler infiltrates heavily guarded areas, engages in brutal combat situations, and navigates through environments filled with danger. The story constantly shifts between moments of strategic planning and explosive action sequences. Every move Tyler makes brings him closer to the hostages, but also increases the risk of exposure to powerful enemies who control the region. The movie also introduces powerful antagonists who control vast criminal networks. These villains are not simply individual fighters, but influential leaders who command loyal armies and vast resources. Their motivations extend beyond money, involving power, revenge, and control over international operations. As Tyler moves deeper into enemy territory, he realizes that defeating these opponents will require more than just physical strength. Intelligence, patience, and teamwork become essential for survival. While the action drives much of the story, the film also focuses on Tyler's personal struggles. His past experiences continue to influence his decisions, and he often questions whether the life he leads is worth the sacrifices it demands. The emotional weight of his past missions remains with him, especially when he sees innocent people caught in dangerous situations. These moments reveal a more vulnerable side of Tyler, reminding viewers that beneath his tough exterior is a man who carries deep emotional scars. As the story progresses, unexpected twists begin to appear. Allies may not always be trustworthy, and certain events reveal hidden motives among those involved in the mission. These revelations create tension and uncertainty, forcing Tyler to adapt quickly to new circumstances. The mission that initially seemed straightforward gradually becomes more complicated as secrets unfold and the true scale of the conflict becomes clear. The climax of the film builds toward a massive confrontation where Tyler and his team must face overwhelming odds. Explosive action scenes, intense hand-to-hand combat, and daring escapes push the characters to their limits. Every decision becomes critical as the team races against time to complete the extraction and escape enemy territory. The stakes feel higher than ever as the mission approaches its final moments. In the end, the story delivers a powerful conclusion that reflects both the brutal reality of Tyler's profession and the resilience that defines his character. While the mission may reach its resolution, the events leave lasting consequences for everyone involved. The film closes by suggesting that Tyler Rake's journey is far from over, leaving the door open for future adventures in the thrilling world of the Extraction series. The return of Tyler Rake stands at the heart of Extraction 3, bringing audiences back to one of the most intense action heroes in modern cinema. Portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, Tyler Rake is known as a fearless Black Ops mercenary who specializes in higher-risk rescue missions that few others would dare to attempt. His return in this chapter carries enormous weight because the character has already survived brutal battles and emotional hardships in previous missions. When viewers see him again, it becomes clear that he is not simply returning to action. He is returning with deeper scars, stronger determination, and a more complicated mindset. After the violent events of the earlier films, Tyler Rake's life is far from normal. The experiences he has endured continue to shape his personality and decisions. The story shows that surviving extreme missions does not mean escaping their consequences. His body carries the marks of combat, while his mind carries memories that are difficult to forget. Despite these challenges, Tyler remains one of the most capable extraction specialists in the world. His return symbolizes resilience, proving that even after facing death multiple times, he still possesses the strength to step back into danger when the situation demands it. Tyler's reputation plays a major role in explaining why he is called back for another mission. In the dangerous world of covert operations, reputation can mean the difference between life and death. Over the years, Tyler has built a name for himself as someone who can accomplish impossible objectives. Governments, intelligence groups, and underground organizations know that when a mission becomes too risky for conventional forces, Tyler Rake is often the last hope. His return therefore signals that the mission ahead must be extremely dangerous and complicated. The film also explores how Tyler has changed as a person. In earlier stories, he was often driven by anger and emotional pain, pushing himself into reckless situations without caring about his own survival. However, his experiences have slowly reshaped his outlook on life. While he still possesses the same physical strength and combat ability, he has developed a deeper awareness of the consequences of violence. This growth gives his character more depth, showing that he is not just a fighter, but a man trying to understand his purpose. Another important part of Tyler's return is the sense of responsibility he carries toward the people he protects. Extraction missions are not just about completing objectives. They involve saving lives under the most dangerous circumstances. Tyler understands that every mission involves individuals who depend entirely on him for survival. This responsibility creates intense pressure, but it also motivates him to push beyond his limits. His willingness to risk everything for strangers reveals the moral code that drives his actions. The character portrayed by Idris Elba plays a key role in bringing Tyler back into action. This mysterious figure understands Tyler's abilities and knows that few people can accomplish what is required. Their conversations highlight the trust and tension that exist between them. While Tyler may not fully trust the motives behind every mission, he recognizes that the stakes involved are too important to ignore. This interaction becomes one of the reasons he chooses to return to the dangerous world he once tried to leave behind. Tyler's return also highlights the intense physical preparation required for someone in his profession. The film portrays him as a highly trained combat specialist capable of surviving extreme conditions. Whether facing armed enemies, navigating hostile environments, or engaging in brutal hand-to-hand combat, Tyler relies on years of training and experience. These abilities are not portrayed as effortless. Instead, the story emphasizes the discipline and endurance necessary to perform at such a high level. At the same time, the narrative reminds viewers that Tyler is still human. He experiences exhaustion, doubt, and moments of vulnerability, just like anyone else. These moments make his victories feel more meaningful because they show that he succeeds, not because he is invincible, but because he refuses to give up. His determination becomes one of the defining qualities that keeps audiences invested in his journey throughout the story. The emotional side of Tyler's character also becomes more visible during his return. Memories from his past occasionally surface, reminding him of the personal losses that shaped his life. These memories influence how he views the world and the choices he makes during missions. Rather than ignoring these feelings, the story allows them to become part of his motivation. They remind him why saving lives matters and why he continues to fight despite the risks. Ultimately, Tyler Rake's return represents the continuation of a powerful character arc that has developed across the Extraction series. His presence brings both familiarity and excitement to the film, ensuring that the story remains anchored by a character audiences already understand and respect. As the mission unfolds, Tyler once again steps into a world filled with danger, uncertainty, and impossible challenges. Yet his return proves that no matter how difficult the path becomes, he remains ready to face whatever lies ahead. In Extraction 3, the character portrayed by Idris Elba plays a crucial role in shaping the direction of the story and influencing the journey of Tyler Rake, while Tyler, played by Chris Hemsworth, remains the central action hero of the film. Idris Elba's character represents a powerful figure who operates behind the scenes. His presence adds a new layer of mystery, intelligence, and strategy to the narrative, making the mission far more complex than a simple rescue operation. From the moment he appears, it becomes clear that he is deeply connected to global intelligence networks and covert operations. The character serves as the one who approaches Tyler Rake with the mission that drives the story forward. Unlike typical employers who simply hire mercenaries, this figure seems to have a deeper understanding of Tyler's abilities and personal struggles. He knows exactly how to convince Tyler to return to action, even when Tyler initially hesitates. This dynamic creates an interesting relationship between the two characters, built on both respect and suspicion. Tyler understands that the mission is important, but he is also aware that there may be hidden motives behind the offer. One of the most important aspects of Idris Elba's role is his connection to powerful organizations that operate outside the public eye. The film suggests that he represents a network that monitors global conflicts and steps in when situations threaten to spiral out of control. This gives him access to intelligence, resources, and contacts that ordinary operatives would never have. Because of this influence, he is able to coordinate operations on an international scale, guiding Tyler through a mission that involves multiple countries and dangerous criminal groups. His character also acts as a strategic planner throughout the story, while Tyler handles the physical and tactical challenges on the ground. The character played by Idris Elba works from behind the scenes to gather information and anticipate threats. This balance between field action and strategic planning creates a strong partnership between the two men. It shows that success in such dangerous missions requires more than just combat skills. It also demands careful planning, intelligence gathering, and the ability to stay several steps ahead of powerful enemies. Another important element of the character is the sense of mystery surrounding his true motivations. Although he appears to be helping Tyler complete the mission, the story leaves subtle hints that his goals may extend beyond a simple rescue operation. This ambiguity keeps the audience curious about his intentions and adds tension to every interaction he has with Tyler. Viewers begin to wonder whether he is completely trustworthy or whether he has a larger plan unfolding. Behind the scenes, despite this mystery, the character also demonstrates moments of genuine concern for Tyler's safety. He understands the extreme risks involved in the mission and recognizes the personal cost Tyler continues to pay for his work. These moments of empathy reveal that he is not simply using Tyler as a tool, but also respects the sacrifices he has made. This emotional complexity makes the character more interesting because he cannot be easily defined as purely good or purely manipulative. Despite this mystery, the character also demonstrates moments of genuine concern for Tyler's safety. He understands the extreme risks involved in the mission and recognizes the personal cost Tyler continues to pay for his work. These moments of empathy revealed that he is not simply using Tyler as a tool, but also respects the sacrifices he has made. This emotional complexity makes the character more interesting because he cannot be easily defined as purely good or purely manipulative. The presence of Idris Elba's character also expands the world of the Extraction franchise. Previous missions focused primarily on Tyler and his immediate team, but this new figure introduces the idea of a larger network operating behind the scenes. This network connects various intelligence agencies, covert groups, and influential individuals who quietly shape events around the world. Through this character, the film suggests that Tyler's missions are part of a much bigger global conflict. Throughout the story, communication between Tyler and this mysterious figure becomes essential for the mission's success. Whether providing updates, warning about new threats, or adjusting the strategy as situations change, he remains a constant presence guiding the operation. Even though he is often physically distant from the action, his influence can be felt in every stage of the mission. This partnership highlights the importance of trust in higher-risk operations where one wrong decision could lead to disaster. As the plot develops, the character's knowledge and experience become increasingly valuable. When unexpected obstacles appear, he often provides insights that help Tyler adapt and continue the mission. His calm and calculated approach contrasts with the chaotic environments Tyler must navigate on the battlefield. This difference in roles strengthens the narrative by showing how different skills and perspectives contribute to the overall success of the operation. Ultimately, the role of Idris Elba's character adds depth and intrigue to the story of the film. He is more than just the person who assigns the mission. He represents the hidden forces that shape the world of covert operations. His connection with Tyler Rake creates a compelling partnership built on strategy, trust, and mystery. As the events of the film unfold, his influence becomes increasingly significant. proving that sometimes the most powerful figures in dangerous missions are not the ones holding the weapons, but the ones guiding the entire operation from the shadows. Mission and main objective in Extraction 3. The mission and main objective become the driving force behind the entire story. The film centers on a dangerous and high-stakes rescue operation that pushes Tyler Rake to his limits once again. Portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, Tyler is known for taking on missions that most soldiers and operatives would consider impossible. This new assignment is not just another extraction job. It is a mission that could influence political stability, international security, and the lives of several innocent people caught in the middle of a violent conflict. The mission begins when intelligence reports reveal that a group of important individuals has been captured by a powerful criminal organization. These captives include people whose safety holds significant value for global diplomacy and security. Governments cannot intervene openly because doing so might trigger a larger conflict. As a result, the task falls to someone who operates outside official systems. Tyler Rake becomes the ideal choice because he has proven time and again that he can infiltrate hostile territory and rescue targets under the most extreme conditions. The character played by Idris Elba plays a crucial role in presenting this mission to Tyler, acting as the connection between hidden intelligence networks and field operatives. He explains that the objective is far more complex than a simple rescue. The hostages are being held deep inside territory, controlled by heavily armed forces, surrounded by multiple layers of security. In addition, the criminal group responsible for the kidnapping is known for eliminating anyone who attempts to interfere with its operations. The primary objective of the mission is clear: locate the hostages, secure their safety, and extract them from enemy territory without triggering a large-scale confrontation. However, achieving this objective requires precise timing and strategic planning. Tyler must navigate unfamiliar environments, avoid detection by hostile forces, and ensure that the hostages remain alive throughout the operation. Every step of the mission must be carefully executed because a single mistake could endanger everyone involved. As Tyler begins preparing for the operation, the complexity of the mission becomes more apparent. The area where the hostages are being held is controlled by a powerful network of criminals who possess advanced weapons and extensive resources. Surveillance systems, armed guards, and patrol units make the location extremely difficult to infiltrate. To succeed, Tyler must rely on his combat experience, tactical intelligence, and ability to adapt quickly to unpredictable situations. The mission also involves gathering crucial intelligence before entering enemy territory. Tyler and his team analyze maps, communication networks, and security patterns in order to identify possible entry and escape routes. This preparation stage reveals how dangerous the operation truly is. The team understands that once Tyler enters the hostile zone, outside assistance will be extremely limited. He will have to depend primarily on his own instincts and skills to complete the mission successfully. Another important part of the objective is ensuring that the rescue does not escalate into a wider conflict. The criminals involved in the kidnapping have connections to larger networks that operate across multiple countries. If the operation becomes too visible, it could provoke retaliation from these organizations. Because of this risk, Tyler must carry out the mission quietly and efficiently, avoiding unnecessary destruction while still protecting himself and the hostages. As the mission unfolds, unexpected obstacles begin to appear. Information gathered during the planning stage does not always match the reality on the ground. Security may be stronger than anticipated, enemy forces may move unpredictably, and hidden threats may emerge without warning. These complications force Tyler to adjust his strategy constantly. His ability to remain calm under pressure becomes one of the most important factors in determining whether the mission will succeed. The rescue itself becomes a race against time. Once the hostages are located, Tyler must secure them and guide them through dangerous territory while hostile forces close in from every direction. The extraction process requires speed, coordination, and precise decision. Every moment counts, and the safety of the hostages depends entirely on Tyler's ability to stay one step ahead of his enemies. Ultimately, the mission and main objective of the film represent more than just an action-filled rescue operation. They highlight the extreme risks faced by those who operate in the world of covert extractions. For Tyler Rake, the mission becomes a test of skill, endurance, and moral responsibility. By risking his life to save others, he once again proves why he is considered one of the most capable extraction specialists in the world, demonstrating that courage and determination remain his greatest weapons in the face of overwhelming danger. In Extraction 3, the presence of powerful villains plays a major role in creating tension and danger throughout the story. Every great action film needs strong antagonists, and this installment introduces enemies who are far more organized, strategic, and ruthless than those Tyler Rake has faced before. The villains are not simply random criminals. They represent a vast network of power that operates across borders, controlling illegal operations and influencing events in multiple countries. Their presence turns the mission into a deadly confrontation between highly skilled operatives and a criminal empire, determined to protect its interests. The main protagonist, Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, quickly discovers that the mission is far more dangerous than initially expected. The criminal group responsible for the hostage situation is led by individuals who command loyalty through fear and power. These leaders are intelligent, patient, and willing to eliminate anyone who threatens their authority. Unlike ordinary villains who rely only on violence, these antagonists use strategy, influence, and manipulation to maintain control over their territories and operations. One of the defining qualities of the villains in the film is their ability to control large groups of fighters and mercenaries. Their network includes trained soldiers, surveillance experts, and security teams who guard important locations and enforce the orders of their leaders. This level of organization makes the rescue mission extremely difficult for Tyler. Instead of facing isolated enemies, he must navigate through layers of protection designed to stop intruders before they can reach the core of the organization. The leaders of this criminal network are portrayed as individuals who have spent years building their power. They operate with a clear understanding of how global systems work, allowing them to exploit weaknesses in governments and law enforcement through corruption, intimidation, and financial influence. They have created an environment where their authority goes largely unchallenged. This background makes them far more dangerous than typical villains, because they possess both resources and knowledge that help them stay ahead of their enemies. Another important aspect of these antagonists is their ruthless nature. They believe that fear is the most effective way to maintain control. Anyone who betrays them or attempts to interfere with their operations faces severe consequences. This brutality is meant to discourage opposition and ensure that their followers remain loyal. For Tyler Rake, this means that every step of the mission is filled with danger because the enemies he faces have no hesitation in using extreme violence to defend their territory. The villains are also highly protective of the hostages they are holding. These captives are valuable assets in their plans, giving them leverage in negotiations and influence over powerful figures. Because of this, they surround the hostages with multiple security layers, making the rescue attempt incredibly challenging. Tyler must move carefully and strategically to avoid alerting the entire network before he can reach the captives. The character, played by Idris Elba, understands just how dangerous these villains are. From his perspective within global intelligence networks, he recognizes that this criminal organization is part of a much larger system of illegal operations. His warnings to Tyler emphasize that this mission is not just about rescuing individuals. It is also about confronting a group capable of causing widespread instability if left unchecked. As the story unfolds, the villains demonstrate their intelligence by adapting to Tyler's movements. They analyze security breaches, deploy additional forces, and attempt to trap him within their territory. This strategic response adds suspense to the narrative because it shows that the enemies are not easily defeated. Each confrontation becomes more intense as Tyler pushes deeper into enemy territory while the villains tighten their defenses. Despite their power, the antagonists also reveal certain weaknesses. Their reliance on fear and control creates internal tension within their own ranks. Some members of the organization question the decisions of their leaders or struggle with the consequences of their actions. These cracks within the system provide opportunities for Tyler to exploit, showing that even the most powerful criminal empires are not immune to internal conflict. Ultimately, the major villains in the film serve as a powerful obstacle that tests Tyler Rake's abilities and determination. They represent the dark side of global power, where influence and violence are used to dominate others. By confronting such formidable enemies, Tyler once again proves his courage and skill as he fights not only to complete the mission, but also to challenge the dangerous forces that threaten innocent lives. The action sequences and fight scenes in Extraction 3 play a major role in delivering the intense excitement that fans expect from the franchise. Known for its realistic combat and high-energy sequences, the film continues the tradition of pushing action cinema to new heights, with Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, returning to the center of the story. Audiences are once again taken through a world filled with explosive battles, dangerous pursuits, and brutal hand-to-hand combat. Every action scene is carefully designed to feel raw, fast, and immersive, making viewers feel as if they are experiencing the danger alongside the characters. One of the most noticeable aspects of the action in the film is its realism. Instead of relying only on visual effects, many sequences focus on physical stunts, close combat, and practical action choreography. This approach creates a sense of authenticity that makes each fight feel more intense. Tyler Rake's combat style is direct and efficient, reflecting his training as a highly skilled mercenary. Whether he is facing armed enemies or engaging in hand-to-hand battles, every movement is purposeful and calculated. The film features several large-scale action sequences that take place in different environments, from crowded city streets to narrow corridors and remote industrial areas. Each location provides unique challenges for Tyler during the mission. These environments force him to adapt his tactics depending on the situation. In one moment, he may be navigating through tight indoor spaces while avoiding enemy patrols, and in the next, he may be involved in a fast-moving chase through dangerous terrain. Gunfights also play a significant role in the film's action scenes. The story includes intense shootouts, where Tyler must rely on quick reflexes and sharp awareness to survive. Enemies often attack in large numbers, creating situations where every second counts. The tension builds as Tyler moves through hostile territory, constantly searching for cover while trying to protect the hostages and complete the mission. These moments highlight both the danger of the environment and the skill required to survive it. Hand-to-hand combat is another important element that defines the action style of the Extraction series. Tyler Rake is portrayed as a fighter who combines strength, speed, and tactical thinking during close-quarters combat. When weapons are not available, he relies on martial arts techniques, improvisation, and sheer determination to overcome his opponents. These scenes are often fast and intense, showing the physical struggle between characters in a very raw and realistic way. Vehicle chases add another layer of excitement to the film. High-speed pursuits through busy streets or dangerous landscapes create moments of pure adrenaline. Tyler often finds himself racing against time, while enemies attempt to block his escape routes or force him into traps. These sequences combine driving skill, quick decision-making, and coordinated teamwork to keep the tension high throughout the story. The action sequences also reveal the scale of the threats Tyler faces during the mission. The criminal organization controlling the area is heavily armed and well prepared to defend its territory. This means Tyler must confront not only individual fighters but also groups of trained mercenaries who use advanced weapons and coordinated tactics. Each confrontation pushes Tyler closer to his physical and mental limits. The character played by Idris Elba contributes to these action scenes by providing strategic guidance from behind the scenes, while Tyler is on the ground facing immediate danger. This character helps coordinate the operation by analyzing intelligence and offering advice. This partnership allows the action sequences to feel more dynamic, as the mission evolves based on both field decisions and strategic planning. Another notable feature of the film's action is the use of long, continuous shots that follow Tyler through complex environments. These sequences create the illusion that the camera never stops moving, allowing viewers to experience the events in real time, as Tyler fights his way through enemies, rescues hostages, and escapes dangerous situations. The uninterrupted movement of the camera adds to the sense of urgency and realism. Ultimately, the action sequences and fight scenes in the film serve more than just entertainment. They highlight the extreme risks involved in Tyler Rake's profession and demonstrate the physical and emotional challenges he must overcome to complete the mission. Through intense combat, daring escapes, and relentless determination, the film delivers the kind of thrilling action that has made the Extraction series one of the most exciting modern action franchises. The international locations featured in Extraction 3 play a significant role in shaping the story and atmosphere of the film. The Extraction series has always been known for its global scale, and this installment continues that tradition by taking the audience to multiple regions around the world. These locations are not only visually impressive but also important to the plot, as each place introduces new challenges, cultures, and environments that influence how the mission unfolds. By moving the story across different countries and landscapes, the film creates a sense that Tyler Rake's work exists within a vast and dangerous global network. At the center of the story is Tyler Rake, portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, whose profession as an extraction specialist requires him to travel wherever the mission takes him. His assignments rarely occur in safe or predictable environments. Instead, he is often sent to unstable regions where political tension, criminal activity, and armed conflict create extremely dangerous conditions. These international settings allow the film to explore diverse environments while showing how adaptable Tyler must be in order to survive. One of the most important aspects of using international locations is the realism it adds to the story. Global criminal networks do not operate in just one place. They move across borders and establish influence in different regions. By setting the film in multiple countries, the story reflects how modern covert operations often involve international cooperation and conflict. This broader perspective makes the mission feel more complex and high stakes, emphasizing that Tyler's actions can affect events far beyond a single location. Urban environments are a major part of the film's settings. Crowded cities filled with traffic, tall buildings, and narrow streets provide intense backdrops for action sequences. In these areas, Tyler must navigate through busy neighborhoods while avoiding enemy forces and surveillance. The chaotic nature of urban life makes it easier for both the hero and the villains to hide among the population, turning each movement into a calculated risk. These city settings often become the stage for dramatic chases, tactical infiltration, and sudden confrontations. In contrast to the crowded cities, the story also explores remote and isolated landscapes. These areas might include mountainous terrain, abandoned industrial zones, or distant border regions where law enforcement presence is limited. Such locations are ideal for criminal groups that want to operate away from public attention. For Tyler, entering these territories means facing environments that are not only physically challenging, but also controlled by hostile forces, who know the terrain far better than he does. Another important factor is the cultural diversity shown through these locations. Each country or region in the film has its own unique atmosphere, architecture, and social environment. This diversity adds authenticity to the story and makes the world of the film feel more alive. Tyler's mission requires him to move quickly through unfamiliar surroundings, often relying on limited information while trying to understand the local conditions around him. The international settings also highlight the logistical challenges of the mission. Traveling across borders, coordinating with different contacts, and maintaining secrecy while moving between countries require careful planning. Tyler cannot simply enter a location and begin the operation immediately. Instead, he must gather intelligence, observe security patterns, and wait for the right moment to strike. These preparations demonstrate how complex global extraction missions can be. The character portrayed by Idris Elba plays a key role in connecting these international locations. As someone involved in a network that monitors global threats, he has access to information and resources that help guide Tyler's movements from one region to another. His knowledge of international operations allows him to provide crucial updates about enemy activity, safe routes, and potential escape plans. This connection between the two characters reinforces the idea that the mission is part of a much larger international effort. Action scenes across these locations benefit from the unique characteristics of each environment. A chase through a crowded market feels very different from a confrontation in a remote mountain pass. By constantly changing the setting, the film keeps the action fresh and unpredictable. Tyler must adapt his tactics depending on the surroundings, using whatever tools and opportunities the environment provides. Ultimately, the international locations in the film serve as more than just visual scenery. They reflect the global scale of the conflict and the far-reaching influence of the criminal organizations involved in the story. For Tyler Rake, every new location represents another challenge that tests his survival skills and determination. As the mission unfolds across different regions of the world, the audience experiences a thrilling journey through a series of dangerous environments, where every step forward could bring him closer to success or to disaster. In Extraction 3, the emotional and personal struggles of Tyler Rake become an important part of the story. adding depth to the intense action that the series is known for. Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, is not simply a fearless fighter who completes dangerous missions. Behind his strong and determined personality lies a man who carries emotional scars from his past. These struggles shape his decisions, influence his relationships, and make his journey far more complex than just surviving another mission. Tyler's past experiences continue to affect him deeply. Over the years, he has faced situations where survival often came at a heavy cost. The memories of the people he could not save and the sacrifices he has made remain with him wherever he goes. Even though he is known for his courage and resilience, these memories sometimes weigh heavily on his mind. The film explores how these emotional wounds influence the way he approaches both life and his dangerous profession. Another major struggle Tyler faces is the constant conflict between his desire for peace and the reality of his work. Part of him wishes to leave the violent world behind and live a quieter life, free from the chaos of combat and covert operations. However, circumstances often pull him back into dangerous missions where his unique skills are needed. This inner conflict creates tension within his character, as he tries to balance his personal needs with the responsibilities he feels toward others. The nature of Tyler's profession also contributes to his emotional isolation. As an extraction specialist, he spends much of his life moving from one dangerous mission to another. This lifestyle makes it difficult to build lasting relationships or maintain close connections with people. Trust becomes rare in a world filled with secrecy and hidden motives. Because of this, Tyler often finds himself facing challenges alone, carrying his emotional burdens without many opportunities to share them. Despite this isolation, Tyler still shows a deep sense of compassion for the people he rescues. His missions are not just assignments. They represent chances to protect lives that might otherwise be lost. When he sees innocent individuals trapped in dangerous situations, it reminds him why his work matters. These moments reveal that beneath his tough exterior is a person who values human life deeply and is willing to risk everything to save others. The mission presented to him by the character played by Idris Elba forces Tyler to confront these emotional struggles once again. Accepting the assignment means returning to a world that constantly challenges both his physical strength and emotional stability. Although he understands the risks involved, he also recognizes that refusing the mission could leave innocent people in danger. This moral responsibility becomes one of the reasons he decides to continue fighting despite his personal doubts. Throughout the film, Tyler experiences moments of reflection where he questions the path his life has taken. The constant exposure to violence and danger can make anyone wonder whether the sacrifices are worth it. Tyler's internal dialogue often revolves around this question. While he may not always find clear answers, these reflections show that he is aware of the emotional cost of the life he has chosen. Another layer of Tyler's struggle involves the fear of losing more people along the way. Every mission carries the risk that someone might not survive, including members of his own team. This fear adds pressure to every decision he makes during the operation. He understands that the choices he makes in critical moments could determine whether others live or die. The weight of that responsibility is something he must carry throughout the entire mission. Even with all these challenges, Tyler's determination remains one of his strongest qualities. His emotional struggles do not weaken him. Instead, they shape him into someone who understands the value of every life he tries to save. The hardships he has faced have given him resilience and a deeper understanding of the world around him. These experiences make him not just a skilled fighter, but also a character with emotional depth and complexity. Ultimately, The emotional and personal struggles of Tyler Rake add a powerful human element to the story. While the film delivers thrilling action and dangerous missions, it also reminds viewers that heroes are not immune to pain, doubt, and loss. Tyler's journey is not only about completing another extraction mission, but also about confronting the emotional battles within himself as he continues to fight for a purpose that gives meaning to his life. In Extraction 3, team members and supporting characters play a vital role in helping Tyler Rake accomplish his dangerous mission. While Tyler Rake, portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, is the central figure in the story, he does not operate completely alone. Behind every successful extraction mission is a group of skilled individuals who provide support, intelligence, and assistance during critical moments. These characters bring different abilities and perspectives to the mission, making the operation more strategic and coordinated. One of the most important supporting figures in the story is the mysterious character played by Idris Elba. His role connects Tyler with powerful networks that operate in the background of global conflicts. While Tyler handles the dangerous field operations, this character provides strategic guidance, intelligence updates, and mission coordination. His knowledge of global security issues and covert operations helps Tyler understand the larger context of the mission and prepare for the threats ahead. Supporting characters within Tyler's team also contributes valuable expertise that makes the mission possible. Some members specialize in gathering intelligence, analyzing information about enemy movements, and identifying safe routes for infiltration and escape. Their ability to process complex data quickly allows the team to plan operations carefully before entering hostile territory. Without this preparation, Tyler would face far greater risks during the mission. Technical experts are another important part of the supporting team. These individuals manage communication systems, surveillance technology, and digital security. In modern covert operations, technology plays a critical role in tracking targets, monitoring enemy activity, and coordinating actions between different team members. These specialists ensure that Tyler remains connected with his allies while operating deep inside dangerous areas. Field operatives also play a key role in supporting Tyler during the mission. These individuals may accompany him into hostile environments or remain nearby to provide backup when situations become too dangerous for one person to handle alone. Their presence creates a sense of teamwork that strengthens the operation. When multiple skilled fighters work together, they can cover each other's weaknesses and respond more effectively to unexpected threats. The relationships between Tyler and his team members add emotional depth to the story. Unlike casual acquaintances, these individuals share a bond formed through years of dangerous missions and shared experiences. They trust each other with their lives, knowing that every decision made during the mission can affect the entire team. This trust allows them to work together efficiently, even in the most chaotic situations. Supporting characters also help reveal different aspects of Tyler's personality. Through conversations and interactions with his teammates, viewers see a side of him that is not always visible during intense action scenes. His loyalty toward his allies and his willingness to protect them during dangerous moments show that he values the people who stand beside him. These relationships remind the audience that Tyler is not just a lone warrior, but part of a network of individuals who share the same goals. Another important function of supporting characters is their ability to challenge Tyler's decisions when necessary. In high-pressure missions, even the most experienced leader can overlook certain risks. Teammates who offer different perspectives can help prevent mistakes and improve the overall strategy. This dynamic creates a more realistic portrayal of teamwork, where every member has a voice in shaping the outcome of the mission. As the story progresses, some supporting characters face their own dangers and struggles during the operation. The mission places everyone involved at risk, not just Tyler. Moments where teammates must confront threats or make difficult choices add tension to the narrative. These experiences highlight the courage and dedication required from every member of the team. Ultimately, the team members and supporting characters play an essential role in the success of the mission. Their skills, loyalty, and cooperation transform a dangerous task into a coordinated effort where each individual contributes to the overall objective. By working together, they help Tyler Rake navigate the complex challenges of the operation and prove that even the most skilled hero relies on the strength and support of a capable team. Higher-risk rescue operations are at the core of the story in Extraction 3. These operations define the dangerous profession of Tyler Rake, the skilled mercenary played by Chris Hemsworth. Unlike ordinary rescue missions carried out by official forces, the operations Tyler undertakes happen in extremely hostile environments where traditional military or law enforcement agencies cannot intervene. These missions require courage, precision, and the ability to make life or death decisions within seconds. A high-risk rescue operation usually begins with intelligence that someone important or innocent has been captured by dangerous criminals or hostile groups. In situations where political complications prevent governments from acting openly, specialists like Tyler Rake are called in. His role is to enter enemy territory, locate the captives, and extract them safely before the situation escalates further. These operations are often carried out in secrecy, making careful planning essential for success. Preparation plays a crucial role in every rescue mission. Before entering hostile territory, Tyler and his team analyze maps, security systems, guard movements, and possible escape routes. Every detail must be studied carefully, because once the mission begins, there is little room for mistakes. Even with the best preparation, unexpected obstacles can appear, forcing Tyler to adapt quickly to survive and continue the operation. The character portrayed by Idris Elba helps coordinate these rescue operations from behind the scenes. With access to global intelligence networks, he provides Tyler with information about enemy forces, potential threats, and safe locations that might help during the mission. This partnership between field action and strategic planning allows the operation to move forward even when conditions become unpredictable. One of the most challenging aspects of high-risk rescue missions is entering territory controlled by powerful criminal organizations. These groups often protect their hostages with heavily armed guards, surveillance equipment, and multiple security checkpoints. To reach the captives, Tyler must move carefully through layers of protection while avoiding detection. Every step must be calculated, because one wrong move could alert the entire enemy force. Once the hostages are located, the rescue operation becomes even more dangerous. Tyler must ensure that the captives remain safe while also defending them from enemy attacks. Hostages may be frightened, injured, or unable to move quickly, making the escape process more complicated. Tyler's responsibility extends beyond fighting enemies. He must also guide and protect the people he is rescuing. Another challenge during these operations is the limited time available to complete the mission. As soon as the enemy realizes an extraction attempt is underway, they will mobilize all available forces to stop it. This creates a race against time where Tyler must act quickly while maintaining control of the situation. Speed and accuracy become essential as he moves toward the planned escape route. Environmental conditions also add difficulty to rescue missions. Operations may take place in crowded cities, remote mountains, abandoned factories, or war-torn regions. Each environment presents unique challenges, such as narrow escape routes, limited cover from enemy fire, or harsh weather conditions. Tyler's ability to adapt to these surroundings often determines whether the mission succeeds or fails. High-risk rescue operations are not only physically demanding but also emotionally challenging. Tyler understands that the lives of the hostages depend entirely on his decisions. The pressure of knowing that any mistake could cost innocent lives weighs heavily on him throughout the mission. This responsibility forces him to remain focused and determined even when the situation becomes overwhelming. Ultimately, these dangerous rescue missions highlight the courage and dedication required to save people trapped in life-threatening situations. Tyler Rake's willingness to face overwhelming odds demonstrates why he is considered one of the most capable extraction specialists in the world. Through careful planning, relentless determination, and fearless action, he continues to prove that even in the most dangerous circumstances, hope can still exist when someone is willing to risk everything to bring others back to safety. In Extraction 3, plot twists and surprises play an important role in keeping the audience engaged throughout the story. While the film delivers intense action and thrilling rescue missions, the unexpected turns in the storyline add deeper excitement and tension. These twists challenge the expectations of both the characters and the viewers, ensuring that the narrative never becomes predictable. As the mission progresses, new information and sudden changes force Tyler Rake to constantly adapt to situations that are far more complicated than they first appear. The story initially seems to revolve around a straightforward rescue mission led by Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth. However, as the operation begins, it becomes clear that the situation is not as simple as it was described. Intelligence reports may be incomplete, and the true intentions of certain individuals remain unclear. These early hints create suspense, suggesting that hidden forces may be influencing events behind the scenes. One of the first surprising elements in the story occurs when Tyler discovers that the criminal organization holding the hostages is much more powerful than expected. What initially appears to be a local operation turns out to be part of a much larger network with connections across multiple regions. This revelation changes the scale of the mission entirely. Instead of facing a limited group of enemies, Tyler now realizes he is dealing with an organization capable of mobilizing large numbers of fighters and resources. Another twist in the story involves shifting alliances between characters. In covert operations, trust can be fragile, and not everyone involved in the mission may be completely honest about their intentions. At certain moments, Tyler begins to question whether all the information he has received is reliable. These doubts create tension within the narrative, making the audience wonder who can truly be trusted as the mission unfolds. The mysterious figure, portrayed by Idris Elba, also contributes to the element of surprise within the story, while he appears to guide and support Tyler during the mission. Subtle clues suggest that he may know more about the situation than he initially reveals. His calm and strategic personality adds intrigue to every interaction he has with Tyler, leaving the audience curious about the full extent of his knowledge and involvement. Unexpected challenges also appear during the rescue operation itself. Carefully planned strategies sometimes fail when unforeseen obstacles arise. Security systems may be stronger than anticipated, enemy forces may change their patrol patterns, or hidden dangers may emerge at critical moments. These sudden complications force Tyler to make rapid decisions that could determine the success or failure of the entire mission. Another surprising element comes from the hostages themselves. In some cases, the people being rescued may possess information or connections that make them far more significant than originally believed. Discovering these hidden details can alter the direction of the mission and raise the stakes even higher. Tyler must quickly adapt his plans to protect not only their lives but also the sensitive information they might carry. The villains in the story also create unexpected twists through their strategies. Instead of simply defending their territory, they actively try to outmaneuver Tyler by setting traps, spreading false information, and manipulating events to their advantage. These tactics turn the mission into a psychological battle as well as a physical one, forcing Tyler to anticipate his enemies' moves before they happen. As the story moves toward its climax, the twists become even more dramatic. Revelations about hidden motives, secret alliances, or previously unknown connections can completely change the situation in a matter of moments. These surprises keep the tension high and ensure that the audience remains invested in the outcome of the mission. Ultimately, the plot twists and surprises add depth and unpredictability to the film's narrative. They transform the story from a simple action-adventure into a complex journey filled with uncertainty and suspense. For Tyler Rake, every unexpected turn becomes another challenge that tests his intelligence, courage, and determination as he fights to complete the mission and survive the dangerous world around him. In Extraction 3, cinematography and visual effects play a major role in creating the intense and immersive experience that defines the film. The Extraction series has always been known for its realistic and powerful visual style, and this installment continues that tradition by combining carefully crafted camera work with advanced visual effects. These elements work together to bring the dangerous world of covert operations to life, allowing the audience to feel as though they are directly inside the action. The cinematography focuses heavily on capturing the raw intensity of the mission led by Tyler Rake, portrayed by Chris Hemsworth. The camera often stays close to the characters, following their movements through complex environments filled with danger. This close perspective allows viewers to experience every moment of tension, from quiet preparation before a mission to explosive confrontations with enemies. By keeping the camera tightly connected to the action, the film creates a feeling of realism and urgency. One of the most distinctive visual techniques used in the Extraction series is the use of long continuous shots. These sequences create the impression that the camera is moving through the action without interruption. Instead of cutting quickly between different angles, the camera follows Tyler as he moves through buildings, streets, and battle zones. This style makes the audience feel as if they are traveling alongside him, experiencing the chaos and danger in real time. Lighting also plays an important role in shaping the atmosphere of the film. Dark environments, dim corridors, and nighttime settings often dominate the visual tone. These lighting choices emphasize the secrecy and tension surrounding the mission. Shadows and limited visibility create suspense, forcing both the characters and the audience to focus on every movement and sound. At the same time, bright flashes from explosions, gunfire, and emergency lights add dramatic visual contrast during intense action scenes. Visual effects are used carefully to enhance the realism of the story rather than overwhelm it. Instead of relying entirely on computer-generated imagery, many scenes combine practical stunts with digital enhancements. Explosions, environmental damage, and large-scale action moments are often created through a blend of real physical effects and digital technology. This approach ensures that the action feels believable while still delivering spectacular visuals. The film also uses visual effects to expand the scale of the environments shown on screen. Some locations may be digitally enhanced to appear larger, more complex, or more dangerous than they would be in reality. Crowded cityscapes, large industrial facilities, and heavily guarded compounds are often brought to life through this combination of practical sets and digital artistry. These visuals help create the feeling that the mission is unfolding across a vast and unpredictable world. The character portrayed by Idris Elba is often shown in scenes involving advanced technology and strategic command centers. In these moments, visual effects help display digital maps, communication systems, and intelligence data that guide the mission. These elements add a modern and technological dimension to the story, highlighting how global operations rely on both physical skill and advanced information systems. Camera movement is another important part of the film's visual storytelling. During action scenes, the camera moves quickly and smoothly to follow the characters as they run, fight, and escape dangerous situations. This dynamic movement increases the intensity of each moment, making the audience feel the urgency of the mission. In quieter scenes, the camera slows down, allowing viewers to focus on the emotions and decisions of the characters. Color tones also help establish the mood of different scenes. Harsh, cold colors may be used during tense or dangerous moments, while warmer tones might appear in scenes where characters are reflecting or preparing for the next stage of the mission. These subtle visual choices guide the audience's emotional response without the need for dialogue or explanation. Ultimately, the cinematography and visual effects in the film work together to create a powerful and immersive viewing experience. They transform the story from a simple action narrative into a visually striking journey through dangerous environments and intense situations. By combining innovative camera techniques, carefully designed lighting, and realistic visual effects, the film delivers a cinematic experience that captures both the excitement and the seriousness of Tyler Rake's high-risk mission. The story of Extraction 3 is closely connected to the events of the previous films in the franchise, especially Extraction and Extraction 2. These earlier movies established the world of high-risk rescue operations and introduced audiences to the intense life of Tyler Rake, portrayed by Chris Hemsworth. Because of this strong foundation, the third film continues the storyline, rather than starting a completely new one, allowing the character's journey and experiences to evolve naturally from the previous chapters. In the first film, the audience was introduced to Tyler Rake as a fearless mercenary known for taking on extremely dangerous extraction missions. His role as a skilled operative who works outside official military systems defined the tone of the entire series. The events of that story shaped Tyler's reputation as someone capable of entering hostile territory and rescuing targets, even under impossible conditions. These experiences established the emotional and professional background that continues to influence his actions in the third installment. The second film expanded on Tyler's story by showing the consequences of his past missions and the physical and emotional toll they took on him. After surviving intense battles, Tyler was forced to confront the reality of his dangerous profession. His resilience and determination were tested again as he accepted another difficult mission that placed him directly against powerful enemies. The events of that film strengthened his reputation but also deepened the emotional complexity of his character. The third movie builds on these experiences by showing how Tyler's past continues to shape his decisions. The scars he carries from earlier missions remind him of the risks involved in every operation. Rather than ignoring what happened before, the story uses those events as motivation for Tyler's current actions. His understanding of danger, trust, and sacrifice has grown because of everything he has already faced in the earlier films. Another important connection between the films is the continuity of relationships between characters. The mysterious figure portrayed by Idris Elba becomes an even more important presence as the story moves forward. This character was introduced in the previous installment, hinting at a larger network operating behind the scenes of Tyler's missions. In the third film, this connection develops further, showing how global intelligence networks interact with field operatives like Tyler. The world of covert operations introduced in the earlier MOVIE also continues to expand in this chapter. The first two films established the idea that powerful criminal organizations and secret networks operate beyond the reach of traditional authorities. These dangerous forces remain active in the third film, creating new threats that Tyler must confront. The continuity of these elements helps maintain a consistent universe across all three movies. Another connection between the films is the evolution of Tyler's character. In the first story, he often appeared as a man driven mainly by instinct and survival. By the time the third film begins, he has gained greater self-awareness and emotional depth. The experiences from previous missions have taught him the value of teamwork, careful planning, and protecting the people who rely on him. This development makes the character's journey feel realistic and meaningful. The action style of the series also continues from the earlier films. Both previous movies were known for their intense combat scenes, long camera shots, and realistic fight choreography. The third film maintains this signature style while introducing even more ambitious action sequences. By keeping the visual identity consistent, the film preserves the atmosphere that fans of the series have come to expect. The emotional themes that appeared in the earlier films also remain present. Questions about loyalty, sacrifice, and the personal cost of a violent profession continue to shape the narrative. Tyler's internal struggles and his desire to protect others connect directly to the experiences he had in the previous stories. This emotional continuity helps link the films together into one larger narrative. Ultimately, the connection between the third film and the earlier movies strengthens the overall story of the franchise. By building on the events, characters, and themes introduced in the previous installments, the film creates a sense of progression that rewards viewers who have followed the series from the beginning. Tyler Rake's journey continues to evolve, showing how every mission leaves a lasting impact on both his life and the dangerous world he operates within. The conclusion of the third installment of the Extraction story focuses on the final stage of a mission that has pushed Tyler Rake to his physical and emotional limits. Throughout the film, he faces overwhelming danger, powerful enemies, and the constant pressure of protecting innocent lives. As the story approaches its final moments, the tension becomes even stronger because the success or failure of the operation will determine the fate of the people he has risked everything to save. The ending brings together the action, emotions, and character development that have been building throughout the entire mission. During the final phase of the operation, Tyler and his allies find themselves surrounded by hostile forces who are determined to stop the rescue at any cost. The enemies realize that their plans are collapsing and begin to mobilize every resource available to prevent the escape. This creates a chaotic environment where every movement becomes dangerous. Tyler must guide the rescued individuals through a series of obstacles while defending them from constant attacks. The pressure of protecting others while fighting highly trained enemies pushes him to rely on every skill he has developed over years of dangerous missions. The climax of the story usually centers on a direct confrontation between Tyler and the main leaders of the criminal organization responsible for the conflict. These individuals represent the power and corruption that have caused so much suffering throughout the story. Facing them is not only a physical challenge, but also a symbolic moment for Tyler. It represents his determination to stand against those who exploit innocent people for power and control. The final battle is intense and dramatic, filled with action that reflects the high stakes of the entire mission. At the same time, the ending also focuses on Tyler's personal journey. Throughout his life as a mercenary, he has faced emotional pain, loss, and the constant risk of death. The experiences of previous missions continue to affect him, shaping the way he views the world. By the time the story reaches its conclusion, he has gained a deeper understanding of why he continues to risk his life for others. The ending shows that his motivation is not simply about completing a job, but about protecting people who cannot defend themselves. Another important aspect of the ending is the role of the mysterious figure who has been guiding the mission from behind the scenes. This individual has access to powerful networks and intelligence that operate on a global level. Throughout the story, he provides information, strategic advice, and support that help Tyler navigate the dangerous situation. In the final moments, his involvement becomes clearer, hinting that the events of the mission are connected to a much larger system of covert operations taking place around the world. Once the rescue mission is finally completed, there is a moment where the chaos begins to settle. The individuals who were in danger are finally safe, and the immediate threat from the criminal organization has been neutralized. However, the atmosphere of the ending is not entirely peaceful. Tyler understands that while one mission may be over, the world he operates in is still filled with dangerous conflicts. Criminal networks, political tensions, and secret operations continue to exist beyond the events of this single story. The ending also highlights the emotional impact of everything Tyler has experienced during the mission. After surviving intense battles and protecting the people he was sent to rescue, he is left with time to reflect on what has happened. These moments of reflection reveal how deeply the mission has affected him. The experiences reinforce both the burdens and the sense of purpose that come with his profession. Even though the work is dangerous and exhausting, he understands that his actions have made a real difference in the lives of others. Another important element in the conclusion is the idea that Tyler's story may continue in the future. The world of covert extraction missions is vast, and the problems that require someone like him are far from disappearing. The final scenes often suggest that powerful organizations and hidden networks are still active, creating situations that may require skilled operatives in the future. These hints leave the door open for more stories and new challenges. The possibility of future adventures also reflects the growing scope of the extraction universe. The success of the previous films has shown that audiences are interested in stories about high-risk rescue missions and the people who carry them out. Because of this, the world introduced through Tyler's experiences has the potential to expand, exploring different characters, locations, and conflicts that exist within the same dangerous environment. Ultimately, the ending represents both a conclusion and a beginning. The mission that drives the story reaches its resolution, showing the bravery and determination required to save lives in the most dangerous situations. At the same time, the world around Tyler continues to move forward, filled with new threats and new possibilities. This balance between closure and future potential ensures that the story remains exciting while leaving space for the next chapter of the journey.